Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Support the Support Worker. Hope you are well, hope you're not suffering with any viruses or any health conditions. So, why am I here today? I'm here to talk about the Samsung S20 Ultra. Yes, this bad boy. Yes, I've had this phone now for, let's see, 6 months I've had this phone. And it's now on sale. Now, I'm going to point out honestly what I think about this phone. I'm not a professional. I'm not a technical support person. I'm just an honest user of the S20 Ultra. And I feel that I should post this video because it will make people more aware of what they're getting into if they decide to purchase this phone. So let me go straight into it. I've got the cons, the pros, and the conclusion. So let's start off with the cons. The camera. As you know, and I'm not going to go into the specs, but as you know, this camera has 100 times zoom. That was the main selling point for this mobile phone. However, in current and previous videos, you will notice that the zoom, when it gets to the 100 percentage, is, how can I put it in a nice way? It's a mess. It's a complete mess. You can't see anything. It's almost like a cartoon sketch, if you like, or an abstract drawing that you'll be envisioning, which isn't good enough for this type of unit. Bearing in mind, this phone is very expensive. It's the higher range, the top dog in the Samsung brand. Point and shoot, fine. In daylight, perfect. Sharpness, resolution, it's absolutely on point, the camera. But then when you start challenging it in terms of low light, it's good. You can see, not the greatest, but you can see. So that takes me up to the focusing. When you're focusing with the camera, in layman terms, rubbish. Totally rubbish. This phone cannot focus for life or death. It's absolutely diabolical. They've upgraded, now I've upgraded the software twice since I've had this phone, and still with the upgrades, it hasn't improved the focusing on the camera. It struggles to focus. The video. Let's go straight for the video in terms of stability. It's absolutely, again, not the greatest at all. For shooting with the video, forward facing is fine. Being still is fine. Soon as you start moving, then you can see with the stability that it's a bit jaggedy, a bit ropey. Not what you would expect from a flagship phone that costs so much money. Moving on. The battery. The battery, because of the chipset, which is using Exynos chipset and not Snapdragon, because obviously you know, which I'm not going to go into, but there's certain parts of the world which some countries will get the Exynos, some countries will get the Snapdragon. With this phone, in the UK, we only get the Exynos chipset, which affects the battery, the performance of the battery. Just one aspect that it affects. Now I can safely say, with the refresh rate, because this has a 120 refresh rate, if I place the refresh rate down to 60, then this phone will last me a whole day, no problems. no issue, and that is heavy use. If I switch it to 120, then that's when the problem kicks in. I get up to maybe, I'm not looking in time, but I'm looking at the length of like the day. It will take me up to maybe half a day. And that's with hard use, playing games, YouTube, social networking, sending emails, the whole shebang. I'm talking heavy use. Half a day. Then I have to charge it again. So it's 2 charges within 1 day that I'm charging my phone. And that's the honest truth with this phone. So that's a major issue for me. Going on to now the pros. Now, Samsung, as we all know, make the greatest screens. They are known for the kings for making screens. And it's evidently shown in this phone, in the Samsung S20 Ultra. A brilliant screen from all angles. No angle is too difficult to view on this phone. The actual refresh rate, fantastic. The smoothness of the phone is, as they say on most YouTube channel, it's butter smooth. It just flows very, very nicely indeed. And once you hit 120, it's almost insulting to come down to a 60 refresh rate. That's why when I get a phone that is capable of going up to 120, the first thing I do is put it on 120, and I leave it on 120 because it's so delightful to scroll through. So that's the reason why I leave it to that point of 120 rather than 60. The other thing that I find really, really good, and I'm very impressed with this, which is the last thing, which is the last thing, is the speakers on this phone. The speakers are fantastic. As you know, it's got dual speakers, one at the bottom, one at the top end, and it's very, very loud, very clear. Stereo Dolby works perfectly, and that's with headphones as well. It's just clear, concise, on point. It's on the money. So those 3 things for me make this phone stand out from the rest of the field. Now, to give you my final conclusion, and the conclusion is, would I recommend this phone? That's the question. Would I recommend this phone? And the answer is, plain and simple, no. The reason? You can get more for less. There's so many other phone manufacturers out there that are producing so many good phones, even middle range phones. They're increasing with the refresh rate, with the cameras, with the stabilization. It's just a massive market we're in now with mobile phones. And I feel that there's too much range now for you not to be able to buy something that can outrun the S20 even, and save yourself a lot of money. One more thing before I go, which I have to point out, I didn't point out, which I should point out, is the weight of this phone. This phone, I'm not talking about the size, because I think the size is okay. The weight of this phone is very, very heavy. I must admit, through using it, because I'm a heavy user, I do find that my wrist, after a while, does actually hurt because of the weight of this phone. It's top heavy because of the massive camera that's actually on this device. So, you know, just a couple of things to look out for, guys. I'm going to be posting more videos about different things that I own and give my honest opinion about what I think about the products, honestly. And then it's down to you to decide. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it wasn't too long. If it was too long, please let me know. If you want it shorter, please let me know. Drop a like if you don't mind. Subscribe, that would help. And most importantly, keep safe, look after each other, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.